She stayed with me until she moved to Notting Hill. She said it was the place she needs to be, where the cocaine is fair trade and frequently displayed is the Buena Vista Social Club CD. I thought she'd be back in 3 weeks and we'd go wandering the peaks, sojourning my Uncle Joe's ashram. But when you're in Matlock Bath, you don't need Sylvia Plath. Now while they've got Mrs. Gibson's jam, alas, I'm brooding along by the runnel, while she's in Capri with her swing. And the light at the end of the tunnel is the light of an oncoming train. Well, we both grew up in Eden, and strange it may seem, neither of us thought we'd ever leave. But the beacon leak is weak, and she's moved in, so to speak, with featureless TV producer Steve. And now it's Oliver Cassidy and David's in Piccadilly, and so I can only ascertain that the light at the end of the tunnel is the light of an oncoming train. No frills, handy for the hills, that's the way you spell New Mills. Brooding alone by the runnel, while she's in Capri with her swing. And the light at the end of the tunnel is the light of an oncoming train. Is the light of an oncoming train. Is the light of an oncoming old time religion. Give me an old time religion. Give me an old time religion. It's good enough for me. Thank you. It's about people who've got Corgi registered friends. In the kingdom of the blind, they say the one-eyed man is king. And in the kingdom of the bland, it's 9 o'clock on ITV. I believe I've seen holograms with more substance than you. Automatic doors don't open for you. C-O-R-G-I, you meet up on a Monday with your Corgi registered friends. You call Glastonbury Glasto. You'd like to go there one day, when they put up the gun towers to keep the hippies away. This embassy's Kitzbühel, clad in low alpine. Your children are painfully soulless, rousing Bryce Norton. C-O-R-G-I, Corgi registered friends. C-O-R-G-I, Corgi registered, doing cowboy impressions with your Corgi registered friends. patience of Job. But when I hear your wife's silly giggling at Ann Summers parties, C-O-R-G-I, Corgi registered friends, C-O-R-G-I, Corgi registered. You go to medieval banquets with your Corgi registered friends. Stick this in your Volvo, love compartment. 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 Thank you. Cheers. A song called Paintball's Coming Home. They've got the whole world in their house. They've got the whole wide world in their house. They've got the whole world in their house to see the new conservatory. They go 10-pin bowling after work. They go 10-pin bowling after work. They go 10-pin bowling after work. And they're getting married on a Caribbean beach. They got a German Shepherd, dog called Prince. They've got a German Shepherd, dog called Prince. They've got a German Shepherd, dog called Prince. The one called Sheba died. They know where things are in B&Q. They know where things are in B&Q. They know where things are in B&Q. And they've got the Joy of Sex video. If I were a linesman, I would execute defenders who applauded my offsides. Well, they were due to go on the Crystal Maze. Yeah, they were due to go on the Crystal Maze. Yeah, they were due on the Crystal Maze. They got mugged in Florida. They went up in a hot air balloon. They declared their love in a hot air balloon. Yeah, they drank champagne in a hot air balloon and had a row on New Year's Eve. They've got nothing but total respect for. They've got nothing but total respect for. They've got nothing but total respect for Annie Lennox. If I'd have known they were coming, I'd have slashed me wrists. Thank you. All right. Cheers. This next song was written by Jumbo Brightwell. Or was it Scantester? I've got the Topic catalogue. Either way, it's called Joy Division Oven Gloves. Joy Division oven gloves. If it's hurt his hair, I'll put my fingers in the fire. Cause I've got Joy Division oven gloves. I've got Joy Division oven gloves. Ooh, tropical diseases. Ooh, chemical alarm. Ooh, I'm a little blasé. Let me Joy Division oven gloves. Let me Joy Division oven gloves. Joy Division oven gloves. Every joy division open clubs. 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 Open clubs, 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 open clubs. My grandfather's clock was too tall for the shelf, so we sold it and opened up a store. Second division open clubs. Second division open clubs. We got 2 division open clubs. Hallelujah. Thank you.
I'm sitting out the back of the marquee stage with Nigel Blackwell of Half Man Half Biscuit and Jeff Davis of Pro Plus Records, Nigel's one-man record label. There are no tour buses, there are no big trucks, there's no tour manager, there are no roadies, there are no physiotherapists, there are no dietitians. There's one blue transit van which says Birkenhead Car and Van Hire on the side. There's only one band that could have turned up here in that. Nigel, in 2001, The Guardian said of you, light on work rates, low on ambition, unashamedly happy to do the bare minimum to keep the wolf from the door. Does that explain why you play so few gigs?
I mean, I've said this before a few times, but I think that if you were to do 21 dates in like 25 days, you would surely, at the 14th or 15th gig, just get really tired and almost go on automatic pilot. And I'd hate to be in a situation where you're doing that, because, you know, where you walk on stage and you're not in any way nervous and you're almost blasé about it. That would be, I think, like a very bad thing. And with us doing one-offs, we probably play more than most people think, actually. But because the one-offs, so we go to Cambridge, people think, oh, you know, they played a gig, like, you know, must be like the only gig this year. It's not, probably, but we, you know, we don't play that often. And it keeps us on our toes and all that. And I say I'm not that materialistically minded to want to do a load of gigs to make a load of money to get things, because I've got most what I want anyway, to be honest, you know.
What appealed to you particularly about playing at a folk festival in Cumbria on a school playing field?
Well, just those words, what you just said, really. Things like, you know, it's 5 miles from Hadrian's Wall, you can, you know, take in a few nights. It's a nice drive up. It's we knew, to be honest, it wouldn't be a case of like the festivals we have played in the past. Amazingly, we have done those like rock festivals in years gone past. I think it was at Glastonbury we played that time. You had to be there like a 12 in the daytime, and you know, you're queuing up for hours to get in. And although it was quite good and that, but this is a lot more. Well, it is a lot more laid back, isn't it? And so we knew it would be a bit like this. And normally, as you say, we wouldn't really be found at a festival, but we just thought, why not, you know.
And did it appeal perversely because it was a folk festival rather than a rock festival? In
a way, people might think that of us, but I am a folk music fan anyway myself, so I think perhaps to people on the outside it may appear slightly perverse, yeah, you know.
That's come across a lot more in your recent records, your enthusiasm for things like folk and old-time American country and blues. And is that because your own taste went through some dramatic shift in recent years?
Yeah,
what happened?
There's a bloke really who designs our record sleeves. Jeff knows Steve Hardstaff. He's put out a few compilations himself, and he sort of introduced me in a way to country blues. So I got right into that, and then from that, obviously, you go off in all directions, don't you? End up listening to like the crossover stuff like Lead Belly and that, and then folk music. And then where's that coming from? It's coming from the British Isles, and so you get into, like, you know, you get the Topic catalogue, and you just become addicted to the history of the whole thing, really, you know, and the lives and stuff like that. Because up until then, I must admit, I was probably only really a punk new wave kind of person, you know. I grew up with, like, you know, all that Buzzcocks thing, you know, and the Clash and stuff like that. And like my older brother was no help because he was into like Yes and stuff like that, you know. And
is he still?
Oh, to be honest, yeah. You know what? You see this? Oh no, I can't mention it. But if you see a CD, it's just Jethro Tull, Yes, and Emerson, Lake and Palmer. You know, Tull, okay, not bad. Aqualung, good album. But I grew up with like was it Pictures at an Exhibition? Was it ELP?
Yeah, it was one with
right, the whole
yeah.
gatefold sleeve, right on, because I had to share a bedroom with him. On the wall, right round the wall. So I consequently, I consequently know the words to Benny the Bouncer by ELP. You know, 'cause, you know.
So if you've been made an offer, say this weekend, these two events had coincided. Brampton Live, where we are now, and let's imagine that the Reading Rock Festival was taking place the same weekend, and you'd been offered £50,000 to play at Reading, or 3 and 9 to come and play here at Brampton.
Yeah.
Would your decision have been any different?
I would be Reading every time, yeah. Well, pay the house off then, couldn't I? No, I don't know. But do you know what? Do you know what the first thing I would do? I'd just consult the calendar. Honestly, before any money came into it, I'd look at the basically what have I've got anything on that day, what's happening that day, because it's usually I've got have a sporting calendar next to the phone, as it were. So,
I'd say Tranmere is this?
Yeah, different things. Yeah, mainly obviously it's with Tranmere, and that I don't like to clash the two things. No, honestly, being seriously, money wouldn't sway me particularly at all. And if this offered, if I knew that this was going to be like this and Reading was going to be like a 4-hour queue to get in. In your van, stuck in a van, and then there's like stewards and high-vis council jackets telling you what to do every 5 minutes. I'd be here.
You have played Reading though?
We have done, haven't we? Yeah.
So 1990 was it when you come back?
It was 1990 because I remember it was a Friday night and I had to get back because Saturday morning I was going to Bradford to watch Tranmere play, and on the way to Bradford I saw a dead cat. It's the only time I've ever seen a dead cat. I always remember that.
Nigel, Half Man Half Biscuit seem to appeal to men of a certain age, and particularly men. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it seems to be the case, yeah.
Who are they, these people?
I think...
Because the gigs, as I said, they're fairly infrequent, and perhaps because of that and because of the type of person that comes to your gigs, it's like akin to sort of a revival meeting or some sort of religious experience. Go on, who are these men?
I don't know. I think they're just blokes like myself who've grown up, probably grown up in the 70s. Not everyone, the majority, probably grown up in the 70s. Certainly with the sporting terminology I may use, the music perhaps, the sound of the music maybe earlier on, the television people certainly. I think we're victims of Thatcher. That's what we are.
What Nigel doesn't get is the people who phone me, write to me and phone me. So over the years we have gathered a lot more women, and what you have now as well as families where you have a father and different kids. Your age of kids all into the band. You've been brought up on Half Man Half Biscuit.
I don't know what to do with that family though, would you?
We have got, and if you notice I notice in the gigs more because I'm always there out in the audience type thing, doing a residence or whatever. So I notice probably more of them. All the big old 40-year-old or 40-odd now, beer belly fellas at the front sort of thing, aren't you? But there are more women go to the concerts these days, and you just notice there's more fans of women.
When you were going to say something about you were victims of Thatcher.
No, I think what it is because obviously you couldn't hope to get a job. And I think I left school in '79, the very month she came to power. So there's no way you were going to get a job for like 6 or 7 years anyway. And I think there must be a lot of people who are doing that, maybe getting up at late hours and switching the telly, watching that kind of daytime telly, because it's probably not as obscure as maybe others thought, or that kind of reference to daytime TV, because in those days there wasn't really much to do. There was no cable television and stuff like that, and
so everybody was watching the same thing.
I think so, to a certain extent.
More of a shared experience.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, I don't think it was anything particularly original what I was doing or anything like that, anything strange. It was just it was writing what we knew about, but it's just so happened that it was in those years, I suppose. So she probably did me a favour, keeping me on the dole, didn't she? I imagine,
Is it true a few years ago that there was a Half Man Half Biscuit tribute band in Sunderland?
Oh yeah, called It Ain't Half Man, Mum. Yeah. Young students, I imagine.
Were they any good? Did you ever see them?
Never saw them, no.
They're
probably better than us though, weren't they? I imagine. I'd have thought so. Wouldn't be hard.
Hallanto, jolly rumble, we was up long before the day, to welcome in the summer, to welcome in the May, the summer is a-coming in and winter's gone away, so I fancy I'll open a stationer's, stock quaint notepads for weekend pagans. While you were out at the Roll Right Stones, I came and set fire to your shed. 'Cause you probably work at an all-night garage, you probably work at an all-night garage, you probably work at an all-night garage with talk radio on. You curse my soul 'cause I don't want petrol. You curse my soul when I don't want petrol. I only came down for a tube of Pringles, sour cream and chives. And because you gotta get up off your big fat ass to go and get my crisps, you start to develop a scowl. I don't own a car, don't want petrol, just want some crisps. And you walk the 300 yards, what feels like to you 300 yards, to go and get my crisps, and you come back with them and you toss them arrogantly into that metal tray device that separates us. And you say, £1.4. As opposed to, that'll be 87 pence please sir, thank you, do come again. He's a tough nut behind his tough plexiglass. Well, this is done, of course, to annoy me, but has the opposite effect, of course, of amusing me no end. And all of a sudden, I've got a lot of other things I need to buy, and all night in which to buy them. I'll have 2 Scotch eggs and a jar of Marmite, 2 Scotch eggs and a jar of Marmite, 2 Scotch eggs and a jar of Marmite. What sandwiches have you got? Chief. Well, now he's getting really annoyed and his face is going the same shade as his red issue shell Pringle V-neck sweater. And there's a queue forming behind me. And I can just hear his iPod in the background, which he's had to take off and place on the side to deal with me. And I can hear he's got it on shuffle. And you can just about hear the faint sound. Like a bird on a wire, like a drunken midnight choir. I've tried in my way to be free. There stands the glass that'll ease all my pain, that will settle my brain. It's my first one today. Jump up, turn around, go and get his Pringles. Jump up, turn around, get his Scotch eggs. Jump up, turn around, gotta get his Pringles. Jump up, turn around and get his Scotch eggs. Oh Lord, I wish it didn't work here. Oh Lord, I wish it was dead. Oh Lord, I wish it didn't work here. Oh Lord, I wish it was dead. West is Mike and Susie, West is Mike and Susie. And he's starting to sound like Lep Belly at the depot. We got ham, we've got cheese, we've got chicken, we got old roast beef, we got old roast beef, and we got tuna sweet corn, tuna sweet corn. I'll have 10 Kit Kats and a Motrin Atlas, 10 Kit Kats and a Motrin Atlas, and a blue CD on the Hallmark label, 'cause that's sure to be good. On a Sunday morn, just a half a mile from town, his head was found on the driving range and his body has never been found. Thank you. One-way system, smooth and commendable, go by bus, they're highly dependable. The swings in the parks for the kids have won awards, the clean streets acknowledged to the lords. But what's a park if you can't see a linnet? A timetable if your journey's infinite. My bag's packed and I'm leaving in a minute. For what is Chatteris without you in it? Car crime's low, the gun crime's lower, the town hall band CD, it's a grower. You never hear of folk getting knocked on the bonce, although there was a drive-by shouting once. But there's a brass band everywhere, and I don't drive, so I don't care. As a nightingale sang in Berkeley Square, what's Chatteris if you're not there? Short on pheasants, weavers' cottages devoid of tenants, a market town that lacks quintessence. That's Chatteris without your presence. 3 good butchers, 2 fine chandlers, an indoor pool and a first-class cake shop. Ofsted plaudits, envy of the fens, brick barriers at both ends. But what's Chatteris if you're not there? 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 I may as well be in Ely or St. Ives. Cue. Debate still rages on. The most dangerous junction in Christendom. And Cathy Staniforth's milk bank opens soon. Yonder, the deacon in misguided trousers. Yonder, the deacon in misguided trousers. We built this village on a trad tune. We built this village on a trad tune. We built this village on a trad tune. Maroon was the colour of my true love's hair. She's got a cross-stitch exhibition over there. A spate of pan fires isn't going to happen round here. It fills me with joy to see joggers out moshing. It fills me with joy to see moshers out jogging. Ain't no local groups, go fuck your conglomerate. No narky young upstarts, go fuck your conglomerate. No, they built this village on a tragedy. We built this village on a tragedy. With wattle and dog beneath the silvery moon. We built this village on a tragedy. Afoot for the Christmas play. It's called Roll the Square, Arthur, and mind what you say. It's a cricketing farce with a thickening plot. Act 1, Scene 1, Brenda Blevin gets shot. Graduated for solids, disturbingly early. Graduated for solids, disturbingly early. Oh, the mummers, the poppers, the best of the coppers. Anyone can join in, so I discarded my jeans and played Wine Madden Pantheus and King of Thieves. Some blooms, people riffles, and I had the best line. Check your sheds, I think I lost my mind. Oh, we built this village on a tragedy. 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 Village on a trad-tune. There's a sword dance every 27th of June. We built this village on a trad-tune. Thank you very much indeed. Very nice. Cheers.
What's it like to be in the presence of genius? Half man, half biscuit. You like some more? Once again, half man, half biscuit. It's kind of bullshit, this encore stuff, isn't it? I'll go and tell them they're coming back on.
This is a song called Running Order Squabble Fest. Squire, who do you think sold this thing out anyway? Them lot there, they haven't even got an album out. Sound two, we got our own sound man. CMD, we're not going on after Chaz and Dave. I don't care. Hello boys, it's a change of plan. You're going on after Crispy Ambulance. You're going on after Crispy Ambulance. You're going on after Crispy Ambulance. You're going on after Crispy Ambulance.
Thank you.